Oh, hello, this is Tak Chong from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I just love the early morning skies. It seems like the sun is creating such amazing beauty that provide inspirations for generations. When you look at skies like this, I can understand why people both ancient and modern held them in awe. Hopefully you enjoy this photo as much as I enjoyed putting them on my videos. Please let me know what you think of them, whether they are distracting or they add to the value of my videos. Recently I received an email from one of my YouTube viewers by the name of Molly. She asked me a question about wok chi, which I have created a video on about several months ago. Wok chi is the Chinese word that can be translated into the breath of the wok or the spirit of the wok. The word chi can take on many different meanings, but its most basic meaning is probably air. So one of the best ways to interpret the term chi could be elemental, essential, that is something that is unique to be cooked from the wok. Well, because of this, many people have different interpretation what this essential element is in wok chi. However, as Molly pointed out, a dish that can said to have wok chi usually carries a smoky flavor. The smoky flavor is caused by briefly setting the food on fire, where a flame usually started by either with oil or with alcohol, and this causes the food to char, and the charring produces that smoky flavor. However, this is not something that you want to do in a home kitchen. There's one way to solve this problem, has been suggested by many different cooks, is to use a cooking blowtorch. I have tried this method, but it really not quite working for me. At first, I find it difficult to handle the blowtorch and try to stir fry at the same time. And of course, I'm afraid that I'm going to drop the blowtorch on the floor and set the kitchen on fire. And secondly, you can only apply the flame of the blowtorch to certain part of the food. So over the years, I discovered the best way to create a smoky flavor for the dish is to char certain ingredients during the stir-frying process. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a dish that I cooked last night that I intentionally to char some of the ingredients to create that smoky flavor. This is a dish of some green bean that were given to me by my friend Don. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you the basic principles of how this is being done, and there are many different variations and modifications that you can make. With this adjustment, you can create a dish with only slight smoky flavor to a dish that is heavily tinted with smoke flavor. Before I stir fry the green bean, I blanch them in boiling water because these green beans are pretty tough. I boil them until the green bean takes on a vivid green color. And this usually means the fiber of the green bean has been softened, but it still remains the crispy texture. It is that in-between texture of the green bean that makes them so desirable. After boiling the green bean, I set them aside in a colander and let them to dry. Because they just come out from boiling water, they are very hot and they dry rapidly. And I want the green bean to be as dry as possible before I use them in stir frying. After I drain the water from the wok, I put it back on the stove and I start with 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And this is one thing great about a stainless steel wok, because you can go from one cooking task to the next seamlessly. And next, I toss the green bean into the wok. As you can see, there are still some water associated with the green bean, and that's where the steams are coming off. But I'm going to keep stir fry the green bean. Since the wok is very high, you notice that some part of the green bean start to char. The charring during this cooking process is essential for creating that smoky flavor. So here where you will make the decision. If you want a stronger smoking flavor, then you char the green beans more. And in order to create more charring, you can also adjust the amount of oil that you put into the wok. The less oil you put in, the more charring is going to occur. And of course, the less moisture you have in association with the green bean, the more it will char. Next, I add to the wok is some gailan, which is also known as Chinese broccoli. I bought this gailan probably about 2 weeks ago, and this is the last remaining gailan, and I want to use it up. Again, the gailan is great for creating charring because they are very dry when they come out from the refrigerator. At this point, I want to add some other ingredients to this dish. Because cooking with wok chi is always on my mind, I want my dish to be flavorful and achieve the objective of creating flavor through the Maillard chemical reactions. I want the cooking temperature always above the Maillard chemical reaction range, which is over 300 degrees. So I will avoid adding any moisture to the wok because that will reduce the temperature. The next ingredients I am adding to the wok is some white mushroom. This is then followed by some yellow squash, as well as some Chinese sausage, frequently known as lapchang. And now you are in a critical part of the stir-frying process, and there are many different possible directions that you can take this. If you want your ingredients to be crisp and crunchy in the dish, you will keep stir-frying it without adding any additional moisture. And also by adding a minimum amount of oil, you will see the ingredients start to char. At this point, you want to continue to cook under high heat. At this point, if you look at the bottom of your wok, it should have no oil at all. That means that the food comes into the hot surface of the wok, results in charring. And by trial and errors, you will find out what level of charring will be most desirable in terms of flavor for you. Once you get it to the right level, you will find that the result is as good as if you have torched your food with flames. And once you reach your desired level of charring, then you can start to flavor your dish. And for dishes that you want the smoky flavor more distinct, then you will season your dish lightly. You have plenty of room for experimentation to reach the desirable level of the smoky flavor that you are looking for. If you season your dish too strong, then you will lose that smoky flavor. So the basic strategy is actually quite simple. Cook with high heat, with a little amount of oil and with no moisture. The final ingredients that I add to this dish is some tomatoes. And there's a good reason you want to add the tomato way at the end, because tomato brings moisture to the dish. And that will reduce the cooking temperature to the point that charring will not occur. So as you can see here, stir frying is a very nuanced cooking process. There are many places that you can make changes and modifications. So my strategy in cooking this dish is that I start out with ingredients that I know I can char easily, and that is the green bean and the Chinese broccoli. So I will start to cook them first before I add the other ingredients, which is mushroom and yellow squash that do not char as well, because they contain significant amount of moisture. The Chinese sausage actually chars easily. If I have want to char them more, I probably will add them in the beginning of the cooking process. Actually, I seasoned the dish quite lightly, and it turned out that they have a great smoky flavor. So wok chi is really a combination of flavor that you try to achieve. And there are many ways to achieve that goal. Using the direct flame obviously is the most efficient and effective way to char the ingredients. However, there are other ways, and this video is to present you with some of this alternative approach. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun using my fast cooking system, so that you can walk into the kitchen anytime you want and you pick up your wok and you cook with spontaneity and intuition. If you want to learn more about my cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will see you tomorrow. Keep on cooking.